I thought I was getting very close to it, and I thought, okay, I'm going to commit to this trick. And I did commit to it, and I fell into the ramp going forward. So I was leaning too far forward, broke a rib, and injured my ego mostly.
Of course. Pause the story there. For those that don't know, what is a 900?
Well, it refers to the degrees of rotation, so it's a 2.5 spin in the air.
Right.
And so when you're on a half pipe, you're coming up one side, you're spinning 2.5 times, you're coming back down the same side. Okay. And it's something that I learned 720s. I invented 720s in 1985, and so obviously the next progression of spinning would be 900.
Right.
I didn't actually try it until maybe 2 or 3 years later. So around 19, I remember I was on this ramp in outside of Paris alone. And I was like, I'm gonna try 900, and I found myself on my back sliding down the ramp. Like, that didn't work, and I don't know how to spin that far. But eventually figured it out, and eventually when I committed to it, I got hurt. So I kind of shelved it because I thought I had every piece of this, but I got injured, and I had never chased a trick for so long and not completed it.
Yeah.
So when the X Games happened in 1999, they had a best trick event. It was the first of its kind for X Games. There were many best trick events in the past, of which I tried 900s before I got hurt. So I was about 10 minutes into the competition, and I did a variation of a 720 that I had only made once before in my life. It's called the Varial 720. So basically, my board does a 900, I do a 720. Got it. And I made that 10 minutes into the event, and that was my best trick.
Yeah.
It's like, where do I go from there?
That's right.
And the announcer, who was live for the audience there in the stands, said, "Why don't we see one of those 900s?" I remember hearing him say that. I was like, dude.
You have to now.
You know what happened last time I tried to make that? And so I thought, okay, I'll spin a couple just for the crowd. Like, I literally will spin it knowing I'm not going to make it and just throw it away. It's like, okay, that's what a 900 attempt looks like. Yeah. And after about the third try, I realized that there was something different about my approach, because I was spinning fast every time. I had plenty of speed every time because the ramp was the best one we'd ever ridden.
Yeah.
So it allowed you to keep your speed up. And I'm seeing the landing zone. And when I used to try it, I would see the landing zone maybe 1 out of 5. And those are the ones that I would try to make. So I rarely, when I would try it on my own, I'd try it maybe like 30 times. Yeah. And kind of get close to 1. So this time it was like, every time I'm seeing the landing, I'm spinning right. If I'm ever going to try to make it again, I guess it's tonight.
Right. Because the crowd were cheering you on. There was so much focus on you.
Yeah, I kind of blocked that out. I mean, it was more helpful to have my peers cheering me on.
Yeah. I saw they're all doing this to you as well.
Yeah, yes.
Well, they were trying to give you a little bit of extra magic.
Yeah, I didn't notice all that, but so what happened was, somewhere around the 8th try, I did try to make it, and I fell forward again, but I didn't get hurt.
Right.
And then I thought, well, if I'm in the air, if I can shift my body weight more to my back foot, that won't happen. Right?
So you're testing, you're planning, you're renewing. While you're live, you're actually doing it in front of people, and you're refreshing and you're working out the kinks as you go.
Yeah, which is the process of what we do almost any time, but this is just more extreme because stakes are high, and the risk factor is very high for that one. So on my next attempt, I did shift my weight back, and when I came down the wall, I fell backwards. And that was the moment. It was like, I have this. I just have to split the difference.
Right.
And then I made the next one. I mean, the time was up. I didn't think it counted for the, I thought we were off air. Honestly, yes. I did. I didn't think they were still airing this event, because it's ESPN. They don't really care about skateboarding that much. To extend into the NFL game, like, that's unheard of, right? But they did. They kept it going live, and so when I made it, it was like, I couldn't believe everyone saw it. It was crazy.
And that moment, you know, we all have moments where we hit a big success, and, you know, we all feel so good about it. What did it mean to you at that moment when you actually stuck it, and everything you'd worked for over the years, you actually were able to deliver it? What did it mean to you personally?
It's twofold. One, I was super excited, obviously, but also it was like, so over it. Like I finally did it. I'm done with that.
What's next?
Like, yeah, put it to bed. Like, it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
I finally. I really didn't think, it's so weird because, I mean, if you think about in the past skateboard milestones, especially with maneuvers, like I did a 720 on a backyard ramp outside of Stockholm, Sweden in 1985. There were 2 people watching me. And it was like, oh, look, another spin. Cool.
Done.
And then suddenly the next half a turn is over 10 years later to an audience of thousands, if not millions. I mean, it was just wild to think that anyone cared.
Yeah. And so at the end of that, you think, all right, I've done it, very nice. Is your mind already thinking what's next? We just had a conversation with our CTO. He's delivered a phenomenal set of products for this organization, this audience. He's already on to what's next.
Not with that one. No, I mean, I tried some variations of it. I tried to do a different grab of it, which kind of makes it harder because you have to, it makes your spin slow down.
Right.
I was trying to use my backhand to grab it. I did that for a little while. It got hurt a couple times. I tried to do it varial, like, so my board does a 1080, I do 900. And I could just tell that those were going to be so much more work than it was just to get to the trick in the first place. I mean, I really, over the years, I'd say for the next